Token is looking amazing on the charts right now, and I think that we're going to be seeing some new all-time highs very, very soon. In this video, I want to talk to you about why. My name is Royce Jacob, and welcome back to Waves Capital. So we're going to keep this one simple, straight to the point, you guys. We're sticking straight to the charts today. As always, if you want more information on my fundamental bull argument for Render, I do have plenty of videos where I discussed that in the past, so just Google my name and Render token and you'll find them. Take a look at Render's website. Go read over the white paper. Read over their investors relations tabs. Look at their recent news. Follow up with why Render is a strong fundamental buy. And then come here and we'll talk about the technicals. Okay, so again, sticking straight to the charts today, I want to take a look at a few levels of resistance that Render has just broken to over the past week with this very impressive 50% climb right here. Let's get a quick price range on that. Over the span of 7-8 days, Render has climbed 57%. You love to see it. And with that, once again, we have broken through a few separate levels of pretty significant levels of technical resistance. That's leading me to believe, once again, that new all-time highs are on the horizon. Okay, so let's get straight into it, you guys. Before we do, if you want my daily takes on Render, if you want a charts on Render pretty much every day, along with literally my entire portfolio, not only cryptocurrencies, but stock positions, options positions, options trades pretty much every day as well. First link in the description of this video. You get that everything that this box here entails for 15 bucks a month. 40 bucks for every 3 months. Try it free. The reason I do free trials is because I'm so confident in the product I provide. And, you know, I'm feeling good things for Waves Capital in store for the month of May. And yeah, you know, I mean, Render's looking good. I feel like it's going to be a pretty hot summer for not only our #1 cryptocurrency, but for many of our other positions as well. Veritone just announced earnings right before I sat down to record this. It's looking good. So exciting times at Waves Cap. Once again, if you do want to join the winning team, it's the first link in the description of this video. Appreciate it if you sign up, but if not, no worries at all. Let's get into Render. Okay, so first things first, real simple. From a short-term perspective, Render has broken above the line of resistance, this purple line here, that's been in play since March 17th. Okay, so month and a half already, almost 2 months. Time's flying. Render has been in this downtrend. You know, we had a little break over here prior to this break. This was the downtrend. We got a break. I was a bit worried. It's always a little worrisome. And I shared this in the newsletter as well for those of you who remember. It's always a bit worrisome when you see an asset break a fairly significant line of resistance. I would call this line pretty significant. When you see a break and you don't see a big spike in volume along with a significant breakout. Okay, so we broke out technically. Okay, we broke that line of resistance, but we didn't get much volume and we hugged that line of resistance as a new line of support. And that's almost always a bad sign if you see it multiple candles, especially if you're using daily candles. If you're crawling along this line of support that was once broken resistance, that usually implies that more short-term downside is ahead. Okay, but good news. Render's picked up steam. I'm loving the volume that we're seeing here. This is really bullish, actually. Okay, and this is what I wanted to break down. So typically, what would make me worried is if we're climbing and we're seeing a decrease in volume. So if these three were inverted, if it was this one first, then this one, as we're climbing, that's what's known as bearish divergence. That's when the price of an asset is going up, but the volume is declining as the price increases. Okay, so that's bearish divergence, and then the inverse of that, the opposite of that, would be bullish divergence. Okay, so we're looking good. Volume is holding. Volume is actually picking up as we're gaining in price, which is very, very bullish once again. And we have also broken above all three major moving averages. Okay, so we have the 1 day, or I guess this is based on daily candles. We have the 50-day moving average, 100-day moving average, and 200-day moving averages. This is 200-day. 100 days in the middle, this green one. You can barely see that, but the top one is the 50-day. And as of 2 days ago, 2.5 days ago, I guess, Render has officially broken and closed a daily candle above the 50-day moving average, which from a medium term perspective, like I guess all of these are pretty macro technical indicators. And I don't always have these on my charts, but I do have them. The reason I have them as a turn on, like a flashing indicator like this, is because they are important to check and they can signal breakouts for every asset. So every time, and I recommend this for you guys too, again, stick figure trend lines, good old reliables. I do still put the most weight on because just over my decade-long career of looking at charts, they are the most, they're the most reliable. They're the most efficacious. But again, a lot of traders do look at simple moving averages, exponential moving averages, and it is a big deal when they break because ultimately what dictates technical movement is the game theory and psychology of traders. Okay, so if a lot of traders are looking at these indicators, which I know they are, that means that we're probably going to see some impressive price action if these levels of resistance, these indicators are broken above or below. Again, vice versa, it all works opposite as well. So that is why I'm bullish on Render. I do think that we climbed to new all-time highs, but how high do we go? For those of you who have watched recent Render videos, this will sound just like a straight up broken record, but you know, that's the game of kind of more investment style plays. Render for me, as many of you know, is an investment. I am an options trader. That is my job. That's what has earned me the most money over the course of my, investments are getting pretty close with Render, with Render being my largest crypto holding by far and an average buy price of around $1. So Render is doing me real well. We're at a 10x at Waves Capital since the inception of this Render position a few years ago now. So this investment is doing very good for us. Options are up and down, but I guess Render is really up and down as well. But Render is all reliable. And I think that this is the gift that's going to keep on giving. So once again, this is the nice thing about investments as opposed to like trading options, which I do more short to medium term, I would say, on, you know, a multi-week to multi-month time horizon is options trading. But Render, you know, I'm sitting back and chilling until my overall price target is hit for this bull market cycle, which I'll say, you know, with the way Render's looking on the charts, I won't be surprised if we see this within, you know, things can happen fast. It could happen within the next month, but just conservatively at some point in 2024. It's probably going to be if this does happen, keep in mind, it's always possible that we go down from here and this doesn't happen at all. That's trading. It's weighing the odds, doing your best to take the data available to you, both fundamental and technical, and weighing the odds in your favor, even if it's, you know, 60-40, 70-30. In this case, I personally put the odds at new all-time highs within the next week or two, given the strength of Render and all the levels of resistance that we've just broken above that we just discussed. I think that within the next week or two, we probably see some new all-time highs. Once new all-time highs are broken, that's when we enter blue sky territory on the charts where there are no historical levels of resistance standing in our way. And that's very bullish for obvious reasons. Okay, so where do I think we're going? Once again, broken record. If you've watched my recent videos, it is a share price, but it's more so a market cap. So let's take a look at Render's market cap. Render is currently sitting at a market cap of $4 billion. My price target, I'll just say for the summer, because once again, I do think it's going to be a hot summer for Render, is a $10 billion market cap. So just over a 2x from here. What we can do though is just take the circulating supply, which is 388 million Render tokens right now. We'll round that up to $400 for easier math. 10 billion divided by 400 million. I mean, when you break down those decimals, it's pretty much the same as 100 divided by 4, which is 25. So my price target for Render is $25 billion because that roughly, again, it might be a little higher than that because we rounded up, but that's roughly a $10 billion market cap is a $25 Render token, which is right chow. So if you guys have been around for a while and you know the good old two-wave pattern, the Waves Capital coin two-wave pattern, big move up. You see that a big hype-driven wave up. Fundamental as well because Render has been making a lot of fundamental progress in 2024. Amazing rally this year. We saw a little correction. We cooled down. We capitulated. We went sideways, and now it's time for wave two. Wave two, a lot of the time, is similar. Let's get rid of that real quick. Is similar in movement to wave one, not in price. Like, so what I mean by that in percentage terms, it's similar in percentage terms. So what I mean by that is if we take the real breakout from where you can say, we'll just take this first like real green candle where Render didn't slow down too much. Okay. From that first moment of what I would consider a breakout to the high that we saw back in mid-March. That was about 200%. Okay, so from the bottom to here, you could even say here when we really stop going sideways. That's a big gap. I guess we'll consider it right here. So 200, we'll call it 230% is from the base of the rally to the top of wave one. So let's see how that pans out here, because it looks, I actually haven't done this yet, but it looks pretty close, just eyeballing it. Okay, and once again, although render went from $4 to $14, because we're at a higher price right now from the base here to 230%. Okay, 230% is going to be right around $22. Okay, so it's under $25, but we're getting pretty close. Okay, so $22 would be 250, or would be a 230% increase, which is a reflection of wave one on percentage basis. If we do go back to where render really started taking off, which was kind of right here, the real base, that might make a little more sense for $25, which is 295%. If we come up here, that's 270%. So give or take, you guys. Personally, my price target is going to stick at that $10 billion market cap. I will definitely, with this in mind, I will definitely start taking profits once we see, $22. Similar in the way I take profits with really highly profitable and winning options positions. With every significant move up, just shave off 5 to 10% of your position. Okay, don't get greedy. If you got especially if you bought low, like if you bought in low single digits, like I know a lot of you guys did. If we see $15, psychological even, reduce your position by 5%. $20, take off 10%. $22, maybe take off 25% of your position. Because once we get into that in my opinion, once we get into that 22, 25, definitely if we get into the high 20s, approaching 30, that's when we'll probably see the top of wave two, at least for this phase of the bull market cycle. And, at that point, I think you'll probably have a much better buying opportunity a couple of weeks, a couple of months down the line from those high 20s, low 30s even. If we get there, we'll see. Time will tell. But just don't get greedy, you guys. Render's looking really good. I know a lot of you guys bought at very probably levels that would make a lot of people jealous seeing render right now. Now that we're back in double digits, that's another thing. Back in double digit territory, we've broken beyond a pretty significant psychological even in that $10 mark. And again, technicals are just looking, couldn't look much better. I will say that even daily, so I'm talking about RSI here. If we look at daily RSI, we are nowhere near overbought territory just yet, which is also making me very bullish that this will continue over the days and weeks ahead. But 4 hour wise, we are starting to look overbought, where we are seeing some little corrections, ebbs and flows above this $80 level, which is this dashed line where my cursor is hovering. That is overbought territory, so you always want to be a little cautious right there. If we pull back, I do think that, because this level right here, these kind of previous highs right here-ish, like around the 950 region, 945, 950 region, do coincide really nicely with this 50-day moving average, which again, broke above that, saw a nice rally on top of breaking the line of resistance that we broke a while back. It wouldn't surprise me to see a pullback in the short term, like tomorrow, the next day to 950. But after that, I do think the party goes on, and I think new all-time highs are probably going to come in the next, probably in the next week or so, to be honest. Okay. And then new highs broken, blue sky territory. It's a party. So get excited, you guys. I'm excited to see where the rest of the month of May takes us. And I'm excited for all the rest of the plays in the Waves portfolio as well. Once again, if you want my daily trades, if you want my daily newsletters, the first link is in the description of this video to become a member of Waves Cap. Cheers to that. And I'll talk to you guys in the comments about whatever you want to talk about, as always. Look forward to seeing you guys down there. And until next time, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.